1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Prehistoric Podcast, episode number 14. I'm Francois Denision.
You're going to go?
Go for it.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl.
And I'm Bradford Peterson.
It's embarrassing.
Today you will notice that we don't have GoPros on the table.
Yay.
We're just going to stick with the wide for now because we've got our cool effects in the background and it's a lot easier to do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to pump out a little bit more unique content so this way we don't have to spend so much time editing the podcast.
Honestly, we think that none of you really give a shit.
You probably don't care at all.
So,
Most people probably don't even watch. They just put it on YouTube in the background, audio. We should really just focus on the audio.
I will. I'm going to do
At the
that
end of the
this
day.
week probably.
Well, when we get the blue mics, I guess. Anyways.
Yeah, and we will have new microphones coming.
yes.
Finally, we bought them a while ago. Had to get them, sent them off to Blue, to the company, to their workshop, so they can. What did they have to do? They had to change some code.
They have to change the ID of the individual
ID,
mics because the computer thinks it's all the same microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they change it to make them individually coded, then the microphone, which I think is kind of stupid. And you know what? I looked on the internet to try and find a way that I could do it manually, and you actually can't. They have to go in and they have a code that they enter their firmware to change it. You actually cannot change it on your own. We should be able to go and rename the USB device something else.
Yeah, that should be a thing. I agree.
There's no reason not to.
No reason. I mean, I imagine next 3 years somebody will develop software because that's just going to become a problem for people, and someone's going to develop some other software that you can do that with.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, it might already exist.
Probably does already exist.
But I mean, things have to get popular enough for the content to be widely enough shown on the internet.
Yeah, it's too bad we're not just blue mic engineers.
Yeah, that's really too bad. But they're doing it for free, which is really cool. We had to pay shipping there, but they're paying shipping back, and
Oh, that's nice.
it wasn't bad at all.
That's basically breaking even there if they're going to pay shipping back.
Yeah. Anyway, so I want to talk a little bit, start the podcast off and talk about Brad Plays and how we've got a little bit of support for that anyway. Not as much as we had originally agreed on in the podcast we talked about after the first Brad Plays.
The last one got shared a bit.
It did, yeah. Shared a bit.
Shared a bit. Well, let's look up the
A
actual
bit more,
stats
that's the
on-
thing, though.
It was
That's like
shared a
each-
bit, and I was scared as shit.
Yeah, there you go. Each
Hey,
one,
Ryan.
each one does gradually a little bit better. So I mean, I think that's what we got to focus on.
It's really a steam engine that's just powering up.
Exactly. The more we do, the more Aiden and Ryan and whoever else watches it will tell their friends. And their
Heatherton
friends
really
will tell their
liked
friends.
it. Jackson really liked it. Jackson Bradford, Brendan Heatherton. Tears of a Bacon definitely got a little bit of traction. That was kind of fun to do.
There you go.
I like Tears of a Bacon. It just basically is me being a dick to you. That's Tears of a Bacon.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for in something like that. So yeah, with the new simple format, I like that actually a lot. That we can just key out the green screen and then do whatever we want.
That's a green screen, by the way.
Yeah, you guys won't.
That beautiful background there is a green screen.
That you won't actually be able to. You'll never see the green. So that's maybe we'll shoot one and just
it'll
leave
be
it the
like
green
maybe
screen.
you know what we should do, just to make Francois' day. We should say a bunch of really cool stuff that's happening in the background, so that he has to make it happen in the background and spend hours and hours.
Oh God.
Like, wow, look at the stars! Holy shit!
That's not hard.
Stars!
Stars is-
Whoa, shooting star in the background.
And it's
Holy
like,
fuck.
oh, look, it's almost like, but not exactly the same as Avatar, the movie. Whoa! What's up with that?
I'm gonna put a clip of Avatar in now. I hope you realize copyright infringement all day long.
We are going to prison forever, so this will be the last podcast.
No, we can podcast from prison. It's just that.
Oh, yeah.
That's more of a secret podcast.
Like a butthole, kind of like a...
I could probably actually put the trailer on. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I don't think you can. I think that's totally fine.
Putting the trailer on?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of people who review trailers and stuff online, and they always have that shit on their stuff. So.
Okay, well maybe we'll see the Avatar trailer on behind us.
Maybe not. We'll
Maybe not.
maybe we'll be podcasting from prison.
Speaking of the green screen, we are working with League of Wolves right now on a secret project that a few people know about,
Super secret.
but it's really secret.
But it involves a green screen.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's really awesome.
It's really cool. And we
Look
got
forward.
used Prehistoric Brewery.
Yes, we did. Yeah, shout out to Prehistoric Brewery. That was really awesome.
Yes.
It's not really anywhere else we could do it, so that's a big help. Thank you guys.
Huge help.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, just the space and the wall height, and like, there's nowhere. Well, I mean, we could, if we wanted to drive to Cabri every time we wanted to green screen something. The facilities are just too
Rated
far.
M for mature.
Oh, great.
No, it's fine.
No, totally. Yeah. YouTube.
Just-
Thanks.
I think the format of the podcast from now on is just Andrew does whatever the fuck he wants
Whatever the
all
fuck
the
he wants.
time.
Yeah. No, for sure.
You might as well start texting and phone
Yeah,
somebody
play
while you're
loud
at it.
noises.
Yeah.
Can you just play loud noises around?
You might as well have a phone call. If you got a phone call you got to make right now would be the time to do
I
it.
could. Yeah, I could. I will.
Make a doctor's appointment or something.
Dentist, I think.
I was gonna
Call
say
your
though,
parents.
Panel.
Brad plays is at 80 views
Oh, there you go.
on YouTube?
on
That's
YouTube.
pretty good.
How do I check the Facebook views of a post?
Just go to the Facebook post.
Oh wow, 1,084 reached.
Reach still means that they at least scrolled over it.
Fair enough.
It had to be on 1,000 different screens.
I scroll over, sometimes when I'm on the internet, I scroll over hot Russian wives are looking for you in the Ukraine.
Yeah,
Call this number.
fuck.
Sometimes I scroll over that.
But 1,000 people scrolled over it.
It's true.
1,000 of you out there did not even take the time to register it in your memory, and you just passed right over it.
Thanks,
So
guys.
thank you so
How
much.
can I see the Facebook views?
You can't really.
No.
No. Reached because they have no way of actually telling whether or not you watched it.
Okay, so it was shared 5 times.
Hey, that was our goal for the first one.
3 of us. And
Yeah, but I mean, so that was our goal.
who else? Shelby shared it?
Yeah.
Who's the 5th person?
My mom, maybe.
My mother.
She thinks it's hysterical.
That's good. Appreciate that. Francois' parents also enjoy it.
Shelby,
Yes.
Francois, Brad, Frenay.
Oh, for Nate.
Oh, for nice share, that's
You shouldn't have worn khakis on a Wednesday.
That's awesome. The funny part about the whole thing is that your parents both love it and my parents despise it
You swear too much.
because of my language.
See, my parents also don't like that you swear so much, but I mean, still, they think it's funny when you scream, so.
Yeah. It's very funny, Judy. That's just how it is.
That's how it is.
My parents won't watch. My mother would not watch it. She would just shut it off.
See, that's weird, though, because when I'm at your house, we're all...
We don't swear, not like I swear.
Not like you
Not
swear.
every
Not
other
like
word,
in, not like in Brad plays, but I mean, still.
That's just purely
you
my
would be-
reaction. I don't beef up the swearing on purpose.
Yeah, maybe.
When you're in a
No, I
stress,
honestly
when you're
don't.
in a stressful environment, you just
Yeah,
you
yeah.
want to swear.
I just swear. That's
Yeah.
my best outlet.
It's true.
I feel like if I put my mother down and made her play out loud, she would also cuss like a sailor on shore leave.
It is terrifying.
It's very scary. I don't think that you're any less of a man for being scared.
I'm definitely less of a man. Let's get that
There
straight.
was a few times in there where I actually
The 8th
jumped.
grade boys saw my pee-pee.
The 8th grade was so...
So, we talked about the Brad Plays episode. I guess we're going to do another one. We're going to shoot tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
How much longer is the game?
Gee, okay, so...
How many parts of Brad Plays Outlast?
I gotta think now, because there's you get out of the sewer, and now, if I remember correctly, there's this sequence with a doctor that you have to go through, and he's kind of the next bad guy. You deal with him for a while.
talking about him since the beginning.
He's pretty sweet. You deal with him for a while, and then
Like
you...
the Candyman.
Yeah,
He's like a modern day Mother Teresa.
the Candyman can. And then you deal with the priest. Well, the priest, you can't... It has a section, but it's not really... It's kind of a different section. Then you deal with the big guy again, and then it's the ending weirdness. The end is really weird.
How many hours of gameplay has he got left? Would you say?
Not a lot. I can't the game because but the thing is, it takes him forever to do things unless I'm.
Okay, well we should.
Because he keeps running back and.
I think
freezing.
Outlast, we really can only do
I would say one more episode.
1 or 2 more because at this point you have to finish the game. You can't not beat the game. You can't go in sequence and then not finish the game.
It's true.
I don't know. What do you guys think? That's just my 2 cents.
Well, I mean, I feel like we could do.
I'm just gonna man up and rush through the stuff that's not super scary. But we just started and I tried to go in those doors and I just can't.
Well, you just try your best, I guess. But anyways, yeah.
And I know how it works.
I say we do.
I knew that every door was gonna have somebody in it, or almost every door, and I knew that nobody was actually gonna kill me.
If you did 4 more episodes, I think you'd reach the end.
4 more?
I don't think we can do 4 more.
3 more.
Why? Why
Because
not?
people get bored of it.
The difference between 3 and 4. Let's do 4 more.
5,
episodes.
I was gonna say
5
one
parts.
more.
5
No.
parts. I
I think
think
if people get bored of it, 4 is great. Then we have. There's 5 of them. I mean 6 of them. I mean, it might be 3 more. It's I'm saying 4 to be
6
safe. It
episodes
could
of
be
the same
3.
game's kind of boring.
There's channels that are wholly based on that. and just walk.
You just have to get.
They're like 10 parts.
Also, I assume the game gets far more scary. Correct.
But when he gets to the doctor, it gets pretty creepy because that stuff. Because like I mean, right now he's kind of in the easy section of the game. That's the thing. It's like he hasn't even gone to the like hard stuff yet. And, like,
What do you mean hard?
Like the patterns.
People are faster. The patterns are more difficult. The people are yelling. There's more of them, and
like he's
it's
already
a lot more stressful.
Oh.
It's way more stressful. It's way more stressful. So much more.
Shut up. I'm gonna actually like. Oh, I'm swinging at you. I don't know.
I'm swinging at you. So yeah, no, I say 4 would definitely do it. 3 maybe. But you can't stop until I tell you to stop. That's the thing. You can't just stop on your own accord.
I can't be doing big open water walking through total darkness.
You would have made it if you would have just kept going and fucking sidestepped that guy. You would have gotten out of the sewers. I almost am sure of it.
Absolutely, almost, kind of, but we're not certain.
I think so because you did the
Here
valve.
on the Prehistoric Podcast.
You did the valves, which is like the puzzle part of the sewers, and then I think you were gonna get out because I think you get out and then it's the doctor. I think.
So there's no reprieve at this point.
What do you mean?
Because like in the rest of it, there's a kind of reprieve.
Like sections of. Oh yeah, definitely. They have sections where you get to take a breather. It would be a terribly paced horror game if you couldn't take breathers. I mean, there's always. Of course.
It always has to lull you into a sense of security. Like,
Oh.
I understand how things work. And then as soon as you think you understand how things work, curve, left turn.
I hate it. I hate it.
Dying Light is just like that. Just as I'm like, yeah, I'm a badass. I can go out at night now. And now it's just, no way. Everything gets me. Everything will kill me.
I'm going to start really playing Grand Theft Auto after and like finding families and eliminating the male in the family, like families of people. And then like just talking about how later I know that when they go home, he was the main breadwinner and how, what are they going to do? Because the rest of their family lives on the East Coast and they're not that well off. You know?
They can't just be giving them money.
No, they can't just be giving them money. She didn't even have a fucking job, Andrew. There are 3 kids.
And his life insurance, that didn't pay out.
No, it was void. They thought he was part of criminal activity. That's why he got hit.
That's what it is.
Voided his insurance policy.
Yeah.
She hasn't worked in 11 years.
What you gonna do?
And what was she? A secretary at Macy's? How will she ever recover? That's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about next on Brad Plays. After the credits roll at the end. And I get to play my good games.
But what should we should pick a game to do after Brad Plays.
I would love to do.
Let's try this. I don't think it's gonna work at all. If anybody watches this podcast or the next Brad Plays, comment and vote
on what he should play next. Yes.
Scary games, yeah.
Well, we know that Dallas is gonna watch.
We'll also say it in the Brad Plays episode.
Yeah, we'll say it in the Brad Plays episode. But yeah, Dallas, I know you watch, and you play video games sometimes.
We could do something like for one game, comment for another, and share for something like that. Is that too compliment? Or, Jesus, too complicated?
It would be really cool if there was a fan base. Like
I was going to say we have like 3 people who watch, so we might
comment. Just comment.
Just 2-1 vote.
Phone us. I don't care.
And Mackenzie, we're not playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
We're not playing that.
That's not scary.
No.
It's probably pretty scary.
Okay,
we should play a game that, for an interim, like one episode, we play a game that you guys think is laughable and I still think is scary because I know such media exists.
What else? Think about that one.
Even just stressful. I have to think about that one. I'm sure there's a couple.
I'm sure there is. You guys are like, that's not scary, and I'm running and screaming. I like Outlast.
The thing is, it's not like I don't get not scared. It's like I still get scared. It's just like I can deal with my fear. You can't deal
Outlast,
with your fear.
The other thing is I've never been exposed to stuff like this because I just refuse to have anything to do with scary media.
Most of the people I know will just, that's the thing is like, it's like you ask them, it's like, well, how do you feel about scary movies? It's like, I just don't do it at all. Like ever. That's like one section of my life that I just shut away. And it's like, it's crazy to me that you could just shut away an entire.
Yes, you can.
Medium.
Oh, you can. Oh, the glory. Glory to God.
Glory to God.
Glory in the highest.
Thanks, Luther. We appreciate that one.
Blissful ignorance.
Yeah, I just don't even take in scary media at all. You know what we should talk about, if anybody got a topic they want to touch on right now?
No.
We should talk about your animator.
My anime.
Friend.
Oh, yeah. That's sad.
All right.
So, for those of you who don't know, I'm a big fan of the company Rooster Teeth, and they're a media company based out of Austin, Texas. They do online web comedy, like Let's Plays and stuff.
You would know them, if anything, from Red vs. Blue.
Yeah, if you've ever seen Red vs. Blue, they're the guys who did that. That's what they're most famous for. They've been going. They just had their 10th anniversary.
And if you don't know what Red vs. Blue is, it was an old show using Halo.
Yeah, to animate. It was like the first famous machinima show using a video game to do an animated series. So, anyways, they just had their 10th anniversary, and a couple years ago, I want to say in like 2006 or 2007, they hired a very talented animator named Monty who's he's spectacular. He was totally self-taught. He made a really famous video on the internet called Haloid, which was Master Chief fighting Samus Aran from Metroid, and it blew up and it was super popular. Anyway, so the Rooster Teeth guys hired them, and he's been working for them ever since. And recently, on February 1st, he went to go have a simple operation, something easy, non-life-threatening. But anyways, he had a allergic reaction to a medicine, I think, and he fell into a coma. And anyways, like a couple days later, he passed away. And it's pretty upsetting for me, just because he's definitely somebody that I've been following for many years now, like 2007. So I mean, we're getting to almost 10 years. I've been following, like 8 years now. I've been following that guy, and he was a serious inspiration for me. Not just creatively, but morally too. He kind of exemplified the idea of working to do what you love, even if maybe it doesn't pay off at the beginning. Work as hard as you can doing what you love until you're a success, and that's something he exemplified in his life. And so, anyways, I guess the big thing with remembering him would be, for me to remember him would be just to like spread that message of do what you love instead of doing what you have to make money, I guess. So anyways, rest in peace, Monium. You will be sorely missed.
They had a touching video for him.
They did.
I like that. I really like that we watched the part in the podcast where he talked about how important it is to give. How do you phrase it? It was something along the lines of how important it was to put everything you've got into things that you really care about, and how important it is to keep doing that. Like you said, keep doing that until you succeed.
Until you succeed.
And I think that really goes along nicely with what we're trying to do. What we're not trying to do. What we are doing with Prehistoric Productions, and
yeah, I think that. I mean, he definitely had a strong message, and I mean, in some cases, it's not optimal for everyone to try and do what they love to make money. You know what I mean? In a perfect world, I wish everyone could do that. You know what I mean? Some people, maybe what they love doing isn't a job; it's a hobby. You know what I mean? So maybe they work that into their own work life, or they can use it. Like, for example, Mark Butler. Mark works a job that isn't his dream job, but he uses that to fund what is his dream. You know what I mean? So it kind of works both ways, and a lot of people can grow into
And I think the other thing is too to remember that the path to get to where you want to go, even if it is a job, you have to do a job you don't like to get where you want to go. I mean, the point being, I think that
should be
Monty
your goal.
had is that living a life that you want to live, being happy with what you do, whether it's a job that you might not like, but you get to do something on the side that you're working towards something. I mean, it's not about, obviously, like like you said, not everyone can.
Yeah. I think the issue is a lot of people fall into a rut where it's like they feel that it's like, because we do kind of live in a society where we're told from birth that it's like, all right, here's the thing, you got to go to school. To go to school,
to go to school,
to
again.
get a job, to get money, and then you got to make as much money as you can, and then you're going to retire, and then you're going to die. You know, like that's your whole life, and that's all you can do, and that's what you got to look forward to. I mean, that's just what everybody tells you from the day you're born, and it is really, really disheartening. But I mean, I think the whole thing is not to fall into that rut and not to accept that as fact, and find something you love, and then whether you can't make, even if you can't make money off of it, find a way to do that as often as you can. So find that job that you can do that with, so that you're as happy on this earth for as long as you can be. So I mean, I think that's really the message he was trying to spread.
I think that's really resonates with me actually when I heard that, because that's the piece of advice my dad had always given me was, if you're not happy at work, then what have you got? Yeah. Like, if you have to go to work every day and you're just fucking miserable, like, that's one thing that I love about working in the field that we're working in, and also specifically with you guys, is that it's like, it doesn't feel like work a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. Like we're it's a lot of labor, and there's a lot of things that go into everything that we do, but we just get to like bullshit the whole time and just kind of have
that's the nice part. Right? I mean, even if you don't like, maybe what there's a video you don't want to be editing or whatever, at least I can wear sweatpants and have a beer and swear all the time. I can just swear constantly, just an endless barrage of cuss words. And I know that some people don't find that socially acceptable.
We do.
We do. It's beautiful.
Swearing. We have to. We'll talk about that in the latter part of the podcast, I think, because I think it's a big thing. We swear a lot, and I think we need to kind of show that we're not just doing it because. I think we need to.
I don't just swear because I can.
No,
I swear because I'm passionate about swearing.
I'm genuinely passionate about swearing. I think swearing is a wonderful thing. I truly do.
That was one thing you could have asked me, my grade 10 self. And I remember I wrote this down on a piece of paper, grade 10 or 11, because they had like your career. They give you the paper that's like, what's your dream career? It's like, okay, and then what's actually realistic and stuff. And they try to break you down that way. And so I wrote, that's what they do. They're like, what's your dream job? You write it down, and they make you go on the internet and they make you research how hard it is to do that. And then they're like, yeah, you can't do that. Do something else. Find something that's much lower on the bar. They actually do that 100%. It's awful.
Cambridge High School, really?
Every school does it. Like people have done it to you, and you just didn't really notice. Anyways, so I wrote down, I'm like, I want to make movies with my friends and get paid for it. And then it's that, and that's since from grade 10, that has been my goal, and that is 100% what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to do, is make movies with my friends. This is
what you are doing.
Quite literally, there's nothing I would rather be doing.
I think for me, I don't know. I wouldn't say that film isn't my first choice, or the video making isn't my first choice. I never even thought of it. You know,
yeah.
Andrew and I did video production when we were in high school, and I really enjoyed it. And I've always, as most people know, a fucking drama queen. Everyone's like, you should be the president, or you should be an actor. I was like, well, I can't be the president. I was born in the United States. You fucking stupid. So, no, I don't want to be the prime minister either, because I don't want to be a blockhead in a suit in Ottawa right now. Anyway, so I just kind of. It seems to fit for me now, I think, more than anything else. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and do something, at least in the business world.
And something different too, like
something unique.
Yeah.
I've been a farmhand. I've worked at a gas station. I've sprayed for weeds. I've farmed myself. And all these jobs, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's like I've always been like, oh, you're the best employee. Like, it was so good. You know, and maybe it's, I don't want to say like I was head and shoulders above everyone else, but it's like I was always a top caliber. I never had an employer that said the work you're doing is inadequate and I need to relieve you of your work, or I wouldn't hire you again. It's always like, I really hope you can come back and work for me. Mm-hmm. And it's not that I didn't like the jobs. That has nothing to do with it. It's just that the Peter principle for those jobs is so low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can only gas jockey so hard. Like, I would stand out in the middle of the winter, and people would be selling drugs with guns and knives, and I had a smile on my face. It's like, you can't gas jockey.
46 cents of regular, sir. Perfect.
Absolutely. For anybody who doesn't know, I used to work at a fast gas on 20th and H.
In the middle of, for people who don't know Saskatoon, also, it's in the middle of the fucking hood.
And
my friends in Toronto, it's like Jane and Finch. Like,
terrible.
scary, terrible. You don't want to be there.
Especially at night. And I worked there, and I did a hell of a job, but I mean, how much can you really do? Some nights I'd come home with like $110 in tips. And I lowest income area probably in Saskatchewan, if not second to some part in Regina, I guess. Or Prince Albert somewhere, but definitely a low income area, and I would come home with $100 in tips, and I was like, that was more than my wage. And a lot of time, oh yeah, absolutely, it's way more than my wage. So, but this kind of area, the starting off's really difficult, definitely. Yeah, perfect.
Nice.
Throw a bottle cap. No, sorry, continue.
Anyway, the initial going is probably the most difficult part, obviously, is networking and building a portfolio and finding clients that kind of understand what you're going for and how it can help them out. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, the ceiling in a career path, especially the entrepreneurship, but this in particular, is very high. Like the Peter Principle is almost unlimited. Like with media, you could, and entrepreneurship go like linked. You can almost do anything.
It's true.
You know what I mean? You can, even if
the potential is very, very.
Even if you're a director for a film, like a high-end Hollywood director, like directing a masterpiece, like that's max roof. Yeah. But like this is even above that. Like
because I mean, like we you gotta say it's because like you're like, let's say you're an A-list actor. Like what are the jobs like producer, actor, director? Like your three big jobs that you're making the most money on. DOP or whatever, man. Actor, it's like you could act in as many films as you want, and you could be Tom Cruise and like the rich of the rich, and like
you can only act so hard.
But I mean, it's like even then, it's like I was listening to I think it was Brad Pitt or something, and people are like, "Oh, you have a bunch of pull in Hollywood." It's like, why don't you get this movie made? It's like, I don't really. It's like I can't really get that film made. It's like the only way I could do it is if I just spent all the money I have on that movie. And then I would be bankrupt because it's like, and then I would lose all my money because I wouldn't really make a return on it because I'd have to pay a bunch of people and like it wouldn't happen. It's like these people who you think have such a pull and can just do whatever they want can't really. And it's like same with, I mean, you get directors who like Steven Spielberg and stuff who like they start their own production companies, and then they get to a point where it's like, okay, I have more sort of control. I have more say in what we do with this production company, so then they can kind of pick and choose the projects a little more. But I mean, that's what we're doing is like we're creating, but it's like we're not only doing the creating, but we're also facilitating the creation. So I mean, in that sense, it's like we get to choose our projects and make them however we want them to be. And I mean, as we grow, our projects will only grow. So I mean, it's like we can't really, there's not a limit to how much money you can make. So there's not really a limit to what.
The other thing is like if you have, we've kind of talked about this in the past. So a lot of other production companies, at least in the vicinity that we work within, are generally A, creative, or B, corporate production.
They're very like they're two ends of the spectrum.
Very, and they really don't cross very often, if at all. Yeah. So even if a high level end corporate company, they're still a creative company. Now whoever's doing the creative work has some control over you. And even more so if you're the creative trying to seek the corporate money, then they really have control over you. Yeah. And this kind of gives us a blend of both.
So maybe we have control over ourselves. Mm-hmm. Scary thought.
That's a scary idea.
Well, I think the thing that also affords us a lot of freedom is that we, even though we might have big personalities and have like all this kind of vulgar stuff with our creative stuff, when we work on a corporate video, our name really isn't on it too much. Like even if a really conservative client came to us, approached us, and said they wanted something done, it's not like they would have to really advertise all that much that they worked with us. Like the video becomes theirs when it's done, right? So even though we did it and our name is on it, it's not like Prehistoric Productions. Mm-hmm. We like to swear, and all this stuff is like really at the forefront of that video that we created for that specific client. So I think that gives us freedom to kind of do what we want with our creative side, and then still approach the corporate clients.
And I think that something that really shows how distinct we are, I feel like there exist corporate clients that we've worked with that if you showed them Brad plays, they were like, there's no way that that's the same people. Like you just voiced them over. Like there's not a chance that they swear like that. Yeah. Because we present ourselves in such a way. And I could totally shut that off. And it's the other interesting thing is I'm not being inauthentic when I'm in that corporate setting.
No.
That's just another facet of my person.
No, I'm just saying that. But I mean, yeah.
It's
exactly. That's. But I mean, that's like life. That's like life.
I'm really not even filtering.
You're completely different. But you're not. It's life. You're different with your friends than you are with in public. That's just a fact. It's like you. There's different ways you behave in different situations, and I mean that's all you. But it's just how you are in different situations. It's like a lot of people think that the situations you're most comfortable in, like that's the real you. But it's like, no, that's just you when you're in a situation where you're completely at ease, and like that's just a different situation. The you in a corporate setting is just as much you. It reflects on your character just as well. I mean, it's like if you have self-control in a corporate setting and you're polite and you try to help people and you work hard, that still reflects on you just as much as you being able to shoot shit with your buddies and have a good time. And
true. Absolutely.
It's just two different.
And the other thing is, like, I like swearing. I don't want to swear all the time. I obviously get tired of it as well.
Yeah, well, I guess.
I don't think I could ever get tired of. I mean, just saying, like just swearing for the sake of just to swear. I don't think that. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just.
It just seems so meaningless.
Mundane and meaningless, right?
Once again, I think there's a time and a place, and I think that when you're trying to close down a business deal, it's neither the time or the place.
Well, obviously not. I think more for me, when I say I like swearing, it's more so as a concept. I think that people, in general, get offended far too easily, and swear words, like they're just words, like they're just little words that someone decided a long time ago aren't appropriate to say in certain settings. And while I don't necessarily disagree with, I guess filtering is the wrong word, but you like being appropriate to the circumstances. I also don't think that swearing should be a big deal. Like as a concept, I don't think it should be as big of a deal as it maybe is.
No, because I just think that people. Here's what my parents. This is their argument. It limits your intelligence so much. You don't sound nearly as smart when you're swearing. I think that's fucking true at all.
No, I don't. I strongly fucking disagree with that, like big time.
I just don't believe that because I think there's obviously this connotation around the hoity-toity Victorian. We don't have a swear, and it's like we're the aristocrats and we're educated.
Oh yeah.
But they're created this world where educated people were intelligent, and uneducated people were unintelligent, and the upper class didn't swear and the lower class did swear. Now, there's lots of people who are uneducated and very intelligent, and there's lots of people who are very educated and very unintelligent.
I would say that's mostly the case, and that's my biggest pet peeve, I think, in today is education comes with this false air of, oh, I'm better / smarter than you because I went to university for 5 years, and it's really, really irked me. And it's like most of the smartest people I know have not been to school for more than 2 or 3 years. And most of the people that are the biggest assholes and the biggest like yuppies have been to school for like 8 years. Mm-hmm. So I mean that's just a fact.
I think the other thing is that until recently, as a society we've had a very rigid and narrow definition of what actually defines intelligence and what makes a person smart. And I think because academia was this, oh wow, you're going to university. Like that used to be like you only went to university if you were going to be a high-level professional
doctor,
or an academic, or it was a big deal.
Yeah,
it used to be a big deal to go to post-secondary
doctor,
education.
lawyer. That's the
it used to be a pretty big. It used to be a pretty big deal to finish high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now it's like, oh, great, you're going to university. Like, so what?
See, and that's the thing. Like, I look at the three of us, and we're all fairly similar in our interests and tastes and our level of discussion that we like having and our opinions. Like, I mean, obviously we differ here and there, but I mean, I feel like we're all on the same level in most of the stuff. But I look at our parents. Like, both your fathers were doctors. Mm-hmm. My father didn't graduate. He had grade 11. Got his grade 11. Your parents are both, it doesn't really matter. You don't need to go and become a lawyer or doctor or, like, go to university for 9 years. I'm not going to pressure you constantly to go to school. Mm-hmm. My dad is the exact opposite. Didn't go to university, but wants me to go to university. He's like, you need to get a master's in not now. If you ever watch this, not now. I know you're accepting now, but there was a period of time in my life I went to a university prep high school. I attended university.
Yeah.
My parents are so proud. It's so prestigious. I was the first Peterson to go to university. It's like this prestigiousness and this intelligence and this aura about it. And if I dropped out of university, then I wasn't as smart as maybe he thought I could be or was.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird, right? Because why would somebody who's never had anything to do with the academic world? Well, I guess I get that, right? The aristocratic world.
You romanticize things that you haven't.
And then people who have been there go, it's not what it.
Not as big as a deal. See, I'd say in terms of the spectrum, it's like you're on one side of the spectrum, Andrew would be on the other side of the spectrum, and then I would be kind of in the middle. Because with my father, his whole thing was, you have to go to university.
Yeah,
that's So he was a big pressure, but his whole thing was, you don't have to necessarily become a lawyer or a doctor or do something that makes you unhappy. He said, find something that maybe you like more, but it's like, you have to go to school. Like it has to be something practical. It's like, yes, you can choose something that makes you happy as long as it's something that's practical. Yeah. And then go to school. And I mean, like, of course, he facilitated my going to film school, and I mean, so obviously he believes that this is a worthwhile venture. So I mean, I think that Fawny was definitely I'm glad that my dad was where he was, because he it stopped me from. Because I mean, I'm not as ambitious as Andrew. I don't think I have as much ambition as Andrew does. So it stopped me from like falling off and just doing something mediocre and like just kind of being comfortable with what I'm doing and doing something like finding a minimum wage job that I kind of like and then just doing that.
Buying a camera on the side and just making like short videos and putting them on YouTube.
Yeah, just like making movies and stuff. And so it helped me to like push myself to do something, and then also, but it didn't like make me go insane by having to do something that I would hate for the rest of my life.
See, that's the thing. It's like, it's a nice medium where go to school, but do something that you love. Andrew's is do something that you love, do something you love, do something you love.
Whatever the path, like my parents are always just like.
My parents are, I don't really care. Go to school, go to school, go to school, go to school, go to school. Mm-hmm. So do I need, just do it, just do it, just do it. People who go to school make money. And then the other, I think, sorry, I'll cut you off.
No, go for it.
But I think that the biggest thing that I will definitely give my parents leniency on in this whole thing is that they are so removed from the university world. Like, your parents are almost fucking 10, 15 years younger than my parents. When my parents were going to university, the people who went to university made money because there was only 10 or 5% of their students in their classes going to post-secondary education.
So, back then, university degree equaled money.
Yeah, it's like
well, you were guaranteed a job.
Well, they're looking at it right now, and they see are some of our neighbors who are farmers and lawyer, a doctor, or a businessman or something, and these people are all really well off. And it purely comes from a wanting me to happiness for me. Like, we know that if you have more money, you'll be happier. So if you take this path, we know that we don't need to worry about you. You'll be all right. That world just doesn't exist anymore. A BA doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean jack shit. It is not a guaranteed wage at all.
No, it's true.
There's lots of people who use their BAs to get into a position and then roll through the ranks. And I mean, that could be a good stepping stone for you. If you want to, some jobs, say the top of the ladder's here and the first rung is here, you can't just jump this. But there are lots of ladders that start here and are here that you could easily do on your own, like what we're doing. Yeah. You can make your way up the rung. Yeah. But some people need that first hop or put a stool underneath and jump up to the ladder and then climb it.
Yeah.
So I mean but my parents think that it's like, here's the ladder, and for my dad's world, it's like, here's the ladder, I'm down here, and a university degree is an escalator that just takes you right up, and it's like, oh, here you go, here's $1 billion.
Here's $1 billion.
Next up, Rich.
My thing when I dropped out of university was twofold. It was, first of all, I'm taking an English and Film Studies degree. What the fuck am I going to do with that? Nothing. Except for school for another 4 years so that I can then go to school some more to teach people about film studies in English. Like, it's just, that's the thing, like with academia, like anything that's like humanities, it's just a giant circle jerk.
English
just
is
the biggest circle jerk ever.
English is the biggest circle jerk.
Take an English degree so you can then take a master's in English, so that through the time you're taking your master's in English, you can be a TA.
And then you can teach.
And you can
teach other students about English so that they can become English teachers, so that they can...
It's just a giant fuck about.
There are things in this world that exist beyond money, and I understand that. We need people who are interested in English so that they will keep writing books and things get written down that we're doing.
Yeah, but
That's true.
But the thing is, the ironic thing about that, all that is, the people, you know the people who are writing and doing interesting shit? The people who don't have to do 10 hours of homework tonight and do all these readings.
No, I know. Well,
the people who actually do interesting shit.
No, I'm not talking about
stuff.
interesting stuff. I'm not talking about the interesting stuff. I'm people, it's like, on this day, June 4th.
Yeah, it's proper. It's grammatically correct.
It's like, and then they take that and they put it into a shelf.
Yeah.
And nobody will ever read that book again.
But it's important that it's there.
Yeah, when a hurricane comes through, they can pick those books up and they'll still be there.
Yeah, it's important. No one will ever read it, but it's important that it was written.
It's true. There are so many things like that. Like I've gone to the library at the University of Saskatchewan, 3rd floor north. There are books in there that have not been touched since they were put on the shelf. But it's very important that book is there.
Mahatma Gandhi. It's very important that you do what you did. You do what you do because no one else will do it, and that's his whole rule. Yeah. And I'd love that.
Yeah. So there was that part where I just realized how useless my.
You're tugging somebody off so that they can tug you off.
It was just so useless. I wrote. It felt like not even felt like I literally had. By my second semester in university, I had essentially a template for every single essay that I ever had to write. And I would just plug in different stuff and get like a solid 70, 80 on everything I did with this one fucking template that I actually got from high school English. Mm-hmm. And it was just pointless. I felt it was just soul sucking and just awful. Like it wasn't going anywhere, and it was. Oh, it was just brutal. So dropout was the way to go.
That is one thing, though, now that we're here, that freaking fascinates me about society, is that it's like people say that we're such a chaotic society and that like we have no order, but it's crazy that we're able to reach this equilibrium. It's like, it always weirds me out that it's like we don't one day, there's just a generation of kids that are born that all of them, every single one is like, man, it's like, I want to be a teacher. Every single one. But it's like, man, we can't just have teachers. And it's like, and the people... It's weird that we always, man, it's like there's always garbage men, there's always lawyers, there's always teachers, there's always, it's like we never, sometimes there's a doctor shortage, there's still kind of a doctor shortage, but I mean, it's like, it's never catastrophic. There's never this generation where there's just none of them.
You always need doctors because...
That also comes partly from competition. I mean...
Oh, no, fair enough, people have to settle and stuff, but it's like, you think that if somebody, it's weird, what if there's a generation that everyone is ambitious and everyone is like, and they're like, I will not settle.
But they can't.
I will not settle. I know, but I will not settle for being less than a doctor. And then it's like they just won't do that. They're just like, okay, I can't be a doctor. I'm not going to do anything.
Well, I remember like
this generation that just ruins society because they all want to be.
The generation before us, it was like university. You need to go to university. Trying to convince kids to go to university. And then our generation, it's like, actually, we need skilled trades. College, go to college.
Way too
skilled
many
trades.
University.
Plumber, become a plumber. Do something with your hands.
It's like the trades actually make so much money.
Yeah. They do. But it's like, it's just interesting how...
And like now it's like because of that thing, it's like it seems so... Like
forth.
It has the stigma of being undignified. It's very kind of a piss off that the last generation did that to us.
It's like, oh, there's like an environmental engineer who's making $75,000 a year. Like, oh, I'm doing so well. Not even environmental engineering. But I mean, there are sects of what used to be high-paying jobs that are no longer high-paid because there's too many of them. And
oversaturation.
Yeah, oversaturation. I'm using engineers purely because I know of two sects. So there you have your engineers with degrees that are engineers class trained at university, and you get your little ring, and you're an engineer. And then you have the diploma engineers like a power engineer. They make a piss pot of money. They don't do nothing, but you do next to nothing. And you make way more money than not all other engineers, but than some higher trained engineers. Yeah. But there's still the stigma. It's like, oh, you've only got a diploma, only 2 years. You're not nearly as good as we are.
See, that's what I like about me is like I'm like a tradesman.
You're a tradesman.
Yeah, I went to school for 2 years to learn my trade.
Trade.
I got two diplomas. One in. Yeah, I love that. I have diplomas in art, and that's what I love. It's like most art things you can get. It has to be a degree. You cannot really get diplomas in art.
You're a tradesman.
And I'm a tradesman.
All right. Complete abrupt 360. No, 180. I always say 360. That is incorrect.
360 would be directly to where we were.
Would you rather?
Oh, here we go.
Wear ski mittens or ski boots every day for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Ski boots, hands down.
No, it's ski boots and ski mittens.
No, or.
Oh, ski boots or ski mittens.
Would you rather both?
It's like, would you rather do or would you
Boots,
rather do
boots. Cause it, like,
boots, yeah, fuck yeah. You need hands,
feet.
man.
20 feet.
Every day I can take them off at night.
No, it's got to
all the time.
100%.
Ooh, yeah.
Hands.
I need my hands.
I need the use of my hands.
I would just throw another pair.
Would you rather? I'm waiting on this. Would you rather bleed from your ears every time you said the letter R, or have only 3 fingers on each hand, and they are random every day? So you'd wake up, it's like, oh shit.
Oh, bleed from my ears.
It's like, oh shit, these 3 fingers are the only
Wait.
ones on my hand.
Bleeding from my ears. I gotta delve into this a little bit. Does that mean that every single time I pronounce have a word with R in it,
yes,
that I could potentially bleed out if I
every
said
time you do, not potentially.
Every time you do, you
would bleed out?
bleed from your ears.
Oh, bleed out and die?
Yeah,
no,
die.
no.
I'm saying it's like
I would say purely cosmetic,
No.
but think about people that are screaming.
Oh yeah, no, I would do the blood in the ears then, because I mean, like if I was bleeding to the point where I could bleed out, then I'd have to be careful about how many R's I can fit into each sentence.
I think that's part of it. I think it's like, I think that has to be part of it. I think it can't just be like, oh, you just cosmetically, you just bleed from your ears. It's not a big deal at all.
Well,
you just
ruin all your fucking clothes. People are screaming
Yeah,
constantly.
but you just put, I don't know, you tape some cotton wads right here.
No, I don't
collect
think
the
that's
blood.
fair.
You couldn't hear them.
Oh, I'm right here, right in your cheek. You can collect it as it drips down.
And people will be like, why do you...
Because I bleed from my ears when I say R. It's a quick explanation.
Would you rather live your life again?
enough.
I love these ones because this I dream about day and night. Would you? It's not porn. Would you rather live your life again, restarting at your 9th birthday, retaining all your current knowledge and memories, but at some point in your life you will be raped by a clown, or live your life as it currently is?
Live my life as it currently
I'm
is.
going to live my life as it currently is.
Oh,
I
I would take a butt pounding of the centuries, of a millennia, to retain all the knowledge of my 9th grade.
I'm happy.
Like I would be so rich and famous. I'll be on Ellen DeGeneres every 3 episodes, and then one day
Every
I'd
3
be sitting.
episodes.
I would be sitting in my bedroom, flexing because I'm so jacked in the mirror, and I would hear the door open, and I'd be like, "All right, it's time," and then I would just bend over and just dump a whole bottle of lube in my ass, and be like, "Let's rock and roll."
Jesus
That's
Christ.
awful. No, I once again, it's like I feel like if I switched to the other life, I would be so curious about how this life was gonna end up
Yeah.
that it would kill me, and I just have to live this.
Would
life
you
out.
rather have Guy Fieri be your constant companion until you die? I love that. Or the only music you can listen to is Randy Newman's greatest hits?
Oh, Guy Fieri. Randy Newman would drive me fucking insane.
Ooh, that's tough. Is it like the real Guy Fieri, like under the persona, or is it like,
I would say so.
God, diners, drive-ins, and dives.
Yeah.
I'm Guy Fieri. That's dynamite.
No, I
Gotta
think
do
he'd
that,
be
yeah.
cool sometimes. No, but I do think he'd be a good guy. We are running out of time, so we should probably wrap up for today.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to number 14. See you next time, I guess.
Thank you to Guy. Would love having you as a companion. I don't know about
This is competitive.
I don't know about what you guys have a problem with him. Obviously, I guess.
I think we all decided on Guy.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but not as quickly as I did.
Fair enough.
I said Guy from the get. I said you from the get.
Like as if Guy Fieri actually ever watches this podcast.
Yes, you said it about Louis C.K. You said it about Batman. You said it about Van Helsing. Are they going to watch the podcast? Maybe in the future. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Instagram now, so check us out on that. And I guess we'll see you next time on the Prehistoric Podcast. Peace.
See ya.